Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2. 1. Mark.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark, a.k.a. Derringer. Today is Sunday, December 3rd, and you are listening to episode 134 of the Instant Action Podcast, your weekly source for Planetside 2 news and information. As always, I'm brought to you by great listeners like you via the Support the Show tab on instantactionpodcast.com. As you heard, we're in the month of December, so I'm sure everybody's furiously doing their holiday shopping, and once again, I'm just going to remind everyone, don't forget to use my Amazon link when you're doing your shopping on Amazon. A small portion of whatever you purchase there will get donated directly to the Instant Action Podcast to pay for server costs and hosting. And I want to especially say thank you to everybody who used my link during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, things like that. Definitely saw a big uptick in you guys going through using my Amazon link, and I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. So, what's been going on with me this past week? Well, thanks to Iridar, and I didn't even tell him this yet, I did finally pick up a brand new video card. I really wanted to max out and get a 1080, or at least a 1070, but unfortunately those things are goddamn expensive because of all the people that are mining like crazy right now. So I did settle on a GTX 1060, 6GB RAM version, EVGA, because that's the brand that I continuously buy and I like. So I did upgrade my PC from a GTX 760 to a GTX 1060, again, both EVGA, just because I like EVGA, and I've been using them for a long time. It's very exciting to be able to play Planetside 2 on at least high. I haven't pushed it up to ultra yet, but certainly playing everything on high. I've been playing it on low, to be honest. And I'd get good frame rates, everything would look fine, but I decided time to push it up to high at least, and it's definitely a much better game when you can push it up to high and actually play with some good graphics going on it. So I do have to once again give a shout out to Iridar over at iridar.net. Don't forget he has his PC building services over there. He and I went back and forth on graphics cards and things like that, and actually talked over the different graphics cards that are out there right now. I had pretty much made up my mind before talking to him, but it was good to bounce it off somebody else and see what their particular thoughts with PC upgrades and things like that were. So, again, thank you, Iridar, for giving me your feedback on him. And if anybody else is looking for that type of feedback or suggestions or information, definitely go over to Iridar's website, again, iridar.net, and look for his PC building services on there. Again, he's not asking for anything from any of you to offer these services. Certainly you could give a donation to him if you feel that he has helped you out. Again, like I said, it was great for me to just bounce that information off somebody else within the community who was willing to talk about stuff like that and help me make my ultimate decision. Other than that, I have been playing a bit of Planetside 2. I've been playing a lot of Lightning play. I've kind of got an idea for a video I want to put together featuring the Lightning, so I've been working on collecting some Lightning video. Maybe, I'm not going to lie, I have a lot of these little plans to make little videos that never actually see the light of day. So maybe this one will never see the light of day either. But again, I have been playing a bit of Planetside 2 lately, and specifically Lightning stuff. So if I have killed you in my AP Lightning recently, I apologize, but that's what I'm gathering video for right now. So yeah, just a bit of Lightning play. Other than that, what is actually in store for this week's show, though? Well, first, we have the always exciting 31 Days of Auraximus to talk about, and damn, I am excited about it, and I'll tell you about that when we get to the first topic. Then we're going to take a side track, maybe go down a side alleyway and talk about the scummy side of Planetside 2, but it has a silver lining to it because we got some actual new news about what might be coming down the pipeline in the leadership update in 2018. After that, I want to talk a bit about the Community Montage Project. I want to bring that to everybody's attention and make sure you know about it. And then I'm going to finish up the show with a short memorial to a player named Y321. And if you don't know who he is, you will by the end of this show. So as always, strap in as we hot drop into another episode of the Instant Action Podcast. So first up, like I said, 31 Days of Auraximus are actually upon us. I wish I had known about this when I recorded last week's show, because obviously today's the 3rd, and I mean, we're already 2 days in, and I haven't reported this stuff to you guys yet because it kind of hit us midweek last week that this stuff was even coming down the pipeline. But I wanted to take a quick run through and actually talk about what we're going to be getting this year and stuff like that. So basically, it works the exact same way that it did last year, and that every day in December, excluding weekends, because weekends are being counted quote-unquote as a single day. The same thing's being offered on both the Saturday and the Sunday. But a different special item will be made available for purchase. Mondays through Fridays, you'll find cosmetic items, weapons, or bundles. And a lot of the weekends are the old anniversary bundles that we've seen in the past. So let's take a quick run through and see what we have coming down the pipeline. Now, again, you're listening to this on Monday the 4th, most likely, which means you've missed Friday the 1st, which was the solid faction camos, and you've missed the first Saturday-Sunday weekend, the 2nd and the 3rd, which gave us the MKV Platinum Suppressed. And I know Rel had talked about that or teased that on their last live stream, and yes, it did actually come to fruition. Hopefully, you guys were aware of this before listening to this week's show and didn't actually miss out on the MKV Platinum Suppressed version. Next, though, since this is Monday the 4th that you're listening to the show, or at least when I'm releasing the show, I can't say when you're actually listening to it, but on Monday the 4th, we're going to get access to the NS Victory Knife. On the 5th, 6th, and 7th, we're going to get a camo, either the Snowblind on the 5th, Swamp Crawler on the 6th, Sandstorm on the 7th, obviously for use on Esamir, Hassan, and Indar, respectively. On the 8th, the Friday, we're getting action to the solid metallic faction camos. I own all those, and I like them. But big news again, 9th and 10th, we're getting access to the first anniversary bundle again. So this will be your first chance, again, to grab onto a bundle that a lot of you probably missed out on. And of course, you're probably asking yourself, like Robo did on Twitter. So Robo, I hope you specifically are listening to the show, because I'm going to tell you what is in each of these bundles as we roll through them. So again, first anniversary bundle available on the 9th and 10th includes the following: a 6-month heroic boost, the headshot vehicle and armor decal, the 1-year anniversary armor, weapon, and vehicle camo, AE versions of the Phoenix, Striker, and Lancer, AE versions of the Rams, or I'm sorry, just the regular Rams 50M, the EM4 Longshot Parallax VX3, the Serpent, the Jaguar, the Razor, the Corvus, the Tar, and the Carnage. Again, those last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, they're the regular versions of the gun. If you weren't around for the first anniversary, they gave a whole bunch of free weapons to players. It was really cool, and this is a good way for a newer player to unlock a whole bunch of different things within the game to actually go around and play with. But again, you're going to get another heroic boost. I know a lot of people just bought the 5th anniversary bundle and got a heroic boost already, but you're going to be able to get another one. Unfortunately, these are only 6 months, but hey, that's what it is. Moving on the 11th, we're getting the Platinum Commissioner, The 12th, we're getting Sigma, Havoc, Darkstar, Hardlight armor bundles. I'm kind of interested in that one. See how expensive that one is. I'll watch for that one on the 12th. It's also coincidentally my wife's birthday. If she played, I would buy her the bundles. On the 13th, we're getting a Construction Defense set on sale. On the 14th, the Solid Bear Metal Camo. And on the 15th, the NSX Daimyo is going to be on the sale. The 16th and the 17th, Saturday and the Sunday, we are getting the second anniversary bundle. What's in that bundle? Well, again, another heroic 6-month boost, 2-year anniversary camos for all 3 factions, all the hard light armors in the game for all the classes and all factions. Also going to get a Implant 5-pack. Again, this was in the old one, so I'm assuming that's still going to remain in it, but it's going to be new implants, not the old implants. You're also going to get the 3 faction knives, the Hex Edge, the Hard Light Dagger, and the Damascus Edge. You're also getting or AE variants of the Baron and the NS-15M. And you're also getting anniversary horns for the ESFs and the main battle tanks. Moving along after that, moving back to the 18th, you're going to get a discount on the Twin Tire bundle. 19th is Solid Pink Camo. The 20th is the Sigma, Havoc, and Darkstar helmets. That's to go along with the Hardlight armors that are sold on the 12th. On the 21st, a Construction Logistics set. And on the 22nd, the Faction Gold pistols are going to be on sale. These were the original pistols that were part of a Facebook promotion way, way back in the day. And then also these were available via a code that was given out at one of the SOE Lives that I got hundreds of these codes and gave them out like candy to as many people as I possibly could. Then moving on to the 23rd and 24th, just the weekend just before Christmas, the 3rd anniversary bundle is going to be available. What's in that bundle? Again, a 6-month heroic boost, 3 Empire-themed NS-44 Commissioners AE variants, the Lasher mini chain gun and jackhammer AE variants as well, solid blue, red, and purple camo, a 3rd anniversary decal, and both the AE Nano Armor Kit and AE Medical Adapter. I use the Nano Armor Kit on all of my engineers. Then on Christmas Day, 25th, the Alt Solid Faction camos. This is a gray camo, a teal camo, and a gold camo. On the 26th, you're going to get the AVA, the Nomad, and the Zealot armor bundles. On the 27th, a Platinum Underboss. I don't think I have a Platinum Underboss, so I do need to check off the 27th as a day to remember and get into the game. Also on the 28th, the Heat Wave weapon bundle is going to be on sale. I'm interested in that one too. But the day that I am most excited about is Friday, December 29th. And I have marked my calendar on this one because they are selling for the first time and on sale platinum versions of all the heavy weapons. So a Platinum Lasher, a Platinum mini chain gun, and a Platinum jackhammer. I tweeted that I'm sure the folks over at Daybreak Games heard that I have Auraxiumed both the normal and the AE variant of the Lasher, and that's why they had to add a Platinum variant to the game. You can rest assured that once that weapon goes live on the 29th, I will be doing everything in my power to Auraxium that thing as fast as humanly possible so that I have every Lasher in the game Auraxiumed. Yes, because I am a Lasher whore. And then just to wrap things up on the 30th and 31st, the 4th anniversary bundle is going to go on sale. That 4th anniversary bundle has sniper, submachine gun, assault rifle, and archer AE variants for each Empire. Also the 4th anniversary camo for each Empire, an armor decal, a vehicle decal, and another 6-month heroic boost. So if you're a newer player who never purchased or never picked up any of these bundles, this is a great time, and you're going to get, if you buy all of them, and I think they're basically 3,999 station cash, so $40 each. But you could, work your way and pick up 4 heroic boosts if that's really what you want, and get all these various bundles. Now, we're assuming that they're going to cost $39.99 Daybreak Cash on the day that they go on sale, but they may be a cheaper price, and obviously they will be cheaper if you're members. But if you couldn't tell, I'm super stoked. I love when these deals come around every year, and I am especially excited for the platinum versions of the heavy weapons. I will be purchasing all of them, starting with the Lasher and moving forward from there. So again, mark your calendars. It's every day in December. I just ran through all of them. And Robo, I hope you were listening to get all the information on the different anniversary bundles. But with that, let's move on to, like I said, the kind of scummy side of Planetside 2. All right, and the scummy side of Planetside 2 that I was talking about is there was an issue this past week where a streamer, and his name is Winter Gaming, and I'm sure if you follow streamers, Winter Gaming has his own share of scumminess or issues or distasteful activities. He was a big StarCraft player, and he was caught purposely inflating the number of viewers that he had, and has been called out on it multiple times. I'm not here to talk about Winter Gaming's past. I'm here to talk about how someone was streaming Planetside 2 and then was the victim of a UI bug, or some people call it an exploit, that pretty much gave a bad light on Planetside 2. So what happened, obviously, Winter Gaming was playing Planetside 2. He had his own squad up and platoon up, and they were off doing whatever they were doing within the game itself, having a good time. It was exposure for Planetside 2. Again, you may not like Winter Gaming. That's not what I'm here to talk about. If you want to read all about how shitty he is, fine. I'll include a link to the Reddit post and stuff, and you can read all about him. But again, I'm not here to talk about what he did in the past, because let's be honest, any publicity for Planetside 2 is not terrible. So anytime a streamer decides to go in and play Planetside 2 and get their viewers to watch it and maybe pick it up and play it as well, that's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. Sure, those players may not stick around and play the game more than just that one time, but at least they did play it for a little while, and maybe one or two of them will say, hey, I kind of like this game and want to keep playing it, and maybe pump some money into it and go forward from there. So like I said, anytime I see or hear of someone streaming Planetside 2 who's new, I do not see that as a negative thing, regardless of what their past happens to be. So basically what happened with Winter Gaming is that they were running around in their platoon, and he was the victim of a bugged piece of the UI, and that's the promotion petition command. So what happens is that pops up as a notification, and it's pretty limited in what it does. It just says about a promotion, and when you click on it, well, let's even take a step back, because it just pops up on the screen and it says promote petition. And you can either click yes or no, or okay, or not. And it doesn't tell you what it does. It doesn't tell you what you're doing or anything like that. But if you click it and say okay, you pretty much give up your platoon leadership to someone else. And what happened was another player named Brubaker was kind of an asshole on this, playing with someone who had no idea what was happening when they were clicking on this, basically took over the entire platoon as a result of Winter Gaming clicking on this without knowing what was going to happen. After that, he proceeded to disparage Winter Gaming, calling him a noob, telling him he sucks, and all kinds of shit like that. And ultimately, Winter Gaming just said, fuck this, and stopped playing the game. Ended the stream, and that was that. So ultimately, Brubaker, you're a dick. And thanks for kind of breaking any little bit of exposure for the game when you do something stupid like this by being an asshole like this. So Brubaker, go fuck yourself. Now that I've got that out of the way, let's talk about what this actually spawned. Because there was a big post about this and a lot of back and forth on it, but Rel did chime in on this particular post. And when he did, he said, obviously, this is a scummy thing to do. He said that there's going to be some leadership changes in the future that should address that issue and others. They were also passing along Brubaker's account to customer service in the meantime, and they would deal with him. Because obviously doing something like that could be considered harassment or anything like that. And yes, I understand that it's a piece of the UI system that is buggy or broken or whatever. But I think we can all agree that Brubaker, being the asshole that he is, decided that he would fuck with somebody's stream and do that. So, you know, anything that he gets because of this, he certainly deserves because of it. But again, moving along, the information that we got from Rel on this is that he added some additional flavor to ways that they might be fixing this within the game in the future. And one of the things that he mentioned is that they will probably be removing beacon swapping from the game itself. Now, obviously, beacon swapping is when you've got your squad leader, puts his beacon down, it gets destroyed. He promotes somebody else to squad leader, and that person throws down their beacon. It's something that Bax, Joku, all the outfits that I play with do nonstop. It's a way for us to get from one side of the map to the other quickly. It's a way for us to attack points, defend points. It's kind of built into the game right now. Very interesting to see Rel saying that they're looking to remove that from the game. And he did elaborate a little bit more, and that he wants to give fire team leaders the ability to be beacon placers and to also sort players into fire teams by default as soon as they enter a squad. That way you've got at least 4 people who can place beacons at any time with the right permissions, but they still only want 1 beacon active at a time. They also want to add some notifications on when a player drops a beacon and also when a beacon is destroyed to kind of make that flow a bit easier. Now, he says the intention of beacons is that they're not meant to be strike tools first and foremost. That's why they uncap the range on them. And if 4 beacons are going down faster than the cooldown is resetting, then they want you to either place them in better locations or use a squad vehicle as a more permanent spawn point. Now, I can tell you, there are many instances where playing the game, we'd throw down a beacon, it would get EMP'd, we'd swap, another person would throw it down, and we'd just go through that cycle constantly, making sure a beacon stays up within the game itself. And it's interesting that Rel does not want that play style to be within the game itself. And he goes on further to say is they don't want players to have infinite beacons as they currently do. So potentially much later on down the road, we could expect to see squad or fire team based resource pools that you use for squad beacons and other call-ins that regenerates over time, rather than the ability to just constantly swap who the squad or fire team leader is in order to get a new beacon down. I'm extremely interested in this. It's going to bring a completely different mindset to the game itself. At this time and point, I don't know that I really like it. And that could just because this is the play style that I'm used to within the game itself. It would be interesting to see what would happen. And again, Rel specifically states that this is something that is way, way down the road. So don't think that just because he posted this today, that next week, next month, we're no longer going to be able to swap squad leaders to get constant beacons down. They need to fix other portions of the game itself, other portions of the leadership game itself before they do this. But it sounds like this is the direction that they ultimately want to go. So I'm just going to take a back seat to this currently. Again, all I know right now is swapping squad leaders to get as many beacons down as humanly possible to make sure there's always a beacon. I'm interested to see if there's a different way to do it, and if it's a resource pool. I don't know. I'm willing to sit back and see what they do and not just make a knee-jerk reaction and say, this is the wrong way to go, before I see them try to implement something like this. So hopefully, even though it's a long way down the road, we start to see some of this stuff early in 2018. Because don't forget, on the live stream, they said that leadership tools is one of the main things they want to start focusing on in 2018, and that certainly is not a bad thing. So, like I said, I'm going to include a link to this in this week's show notes. You can ignore the Winter Gaming Brewbaker stuff altogether and just kind of pull in the stuff that Rel said and discuss it from there. There's actually some other posts regarding it also if you're curious of getting in on this discussion. But with that, let's move on to our third topic this week. And that third topic is the Community Montage Project. If you guys aren't familiar with it, the fourth installment of the Community Montage Project came out this past week, and it's really being put together by two players, Cube-Raider, who I play with a bunch. He's always in the, not always, but he is occasionally in the Joke TeamSpeak channel, and I've played with him and talked with him in the past, but also by Power Gamer 007. They are both the ones working on this Community Montage Project. And what it is just a way for them to create a montage of every player's best moments in Planetside 2, because obviously Planetside 2 is a pretty epic experience overall, and they feel that it's best experience with others. So why not share clips with the community itself? And this is really for people who don't have any editing experience whatsoever. They are more than happy to edit this stuff for us. If you have a cool moment taking up space on your hard drive, and I know I have plenty of them, this is where you want to go and have them take care of it for you. So the rules for sending clips into them are as follows. Send in as many as you want, but make sure that your minimum FPS is 30. They say best, though, would be 60. Also, make sure you provide your in-game name and or YouTube name so they can give you credit. Feel free to include any outfit tags as well, or even a logo if you have one as well. Also, make sure you're only sending them the raw videos. They don't want any music, and they don't want any editing. If you play with music in the background, that's fine. Just make sure you didn't add anything in afterwards. So if you're like me and you're using Shadowplay, for example, Shadowplay, you're able to bring in the game sounds. You're also able to have a separate track for your own voice. They would say send in just whatever Shadowplay has actually recorded. Also, it doesn't matter what server you play on. It doesn't matter what faction you play. It doesn't matter if you're an MLG 10KD type player. They just want anybody's epic moments. And really, the easiest thing to do with it is once you have your video saved, email it to planetside2plays1@gmail.com. And there we'll have them featured in the next montage. Actually, when you can send the clip to them, but also don't forget there's obviously a limit in the size of the file that can be sent over them. So obviously another option would be to have your own Google Drive link and provide them with a Google Drive link that they can download from as well, especially if it is a much larger file than Gmail will allow. They also have a Community Montage Discord, so if you've got some questions or some ideas for future montages, you can pop in that and check that out. And you can also contact either Cube-Raider or Power Gamer via Reddit as well if you have any other questions. They are doing some really good work. And ultimately, if Cube-Raider and Power Gamer are listening, you can probably expect some videos from me pretty soon as well. I'll make sure to include my show image or something like that so you can mention me also. Especially because, like I said at the beginning, I've got a bunch of lightning videos that I've been putting together. And maybe this is the way for me, even like I said at the beginning of the show, I always have these great ideas for montages and never kind of put it together. So I've got all these videos just kind of kicking around. This is a good place to send them and have them featured and get some eyes on them. But with that, let's move on to our last topic this week, which is unfortunately a sadder topic and kind of a little memoriam. So hold on. All right. Like I said, it's going to get a little heavier now, and I apologize for that in advance. But if you have not been following the Reddit or the PS2 on PS4 subreddit in particular, one of the players that a lot of people in-game knew, his name was Y321 in-game. His name outside of game is Wesley Oliver, and unfortunately on this past Tuesday, he unfortunately passed away. And it's kind of the tragic nature where he was driving in the passenger seat of a pickup truck when the logging truck in front of him, basically the log went right through the window and killed him, unfortunately. And the saddest part about this is that Y321 was only 15 years old. Now, being a father myself, like I said, like I've told you guys many times in the past, my daughter is 17. So this kind of hits much closer to home than I wish it ever did. And I can't help but feel for Wesley and basically Wesley's family. So I just want to take a few moments and just wish his family the best. I know they're not going to listen to this show, but it's always a tragedy when someone in our community passes. This is not the first time, obviously, on the PC side of the game. We had a player on the PC side pass away. J908 is actually named in his honor on Indar itself. Maybe we'll see something like this named after Y321 within the game itself. That would be nice. Interesting that it seems that it's always some sort of letter number combo that passes away within the game itself. Obviously, they're not the only ones. But the nice thing about Wesley passing is that the folks over on the PlayStation 4 side of Planetside 2 decided to have a ceasefire event this past Saturday, where a number of members of all three factions got together. They got together outside of Howling Pass and spent some time shooting off fireworks in the air in his honor. I really thought it was a nice gesture. You guys did good. PS2 on PS4, folks. The last thing I'm going to say about this particular topic itself is that I do know that there is a GoFundMe campaign going right now for Y321, and basically just to get a funeral put together for him. I'm not sure what the status of his family is, but obviously when someone as young as the age of 15 passes away in a tragic accident like this, that the family is rarely prepared for something like this. So, like I said, there's a GoFundMe campaign going for it right now. They were looking for $3,000 in donations. They're already over $4,300. If this is something that has hit close to home to you, like it did to me, unfortunately, this is something that you can make a small donation to. Obviously, you do not have to make a donation to this, but I think this is a worthwhile thing, and I will make sure to include a link to the GoFundMe, and the Instant Action Podcast will be making a donation to Wesley Oliver Y321's funeral expenses. I was also contacted by Sevarm Knight, and he asked me if I could play a special song in memoriam at the end of this week's show rather than the normal music that I do, and so look towards that at the end of this week's show. But with that, let's move on to housekeeping and wrap up this week.
Housekeeping! Housekeeping!
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping!
Not now.
Housekeeping, go away. I coming anyway?
All right. I don't have any emails to read. I did get contacted. Cubrator contacted me about the Community Montage Project. I don't really have to go over that email further. Also, like I said, Sevarm Knight contacted me about Y321. I was well aware of the issues and was already going to talk about it on this week's show. But again, don't really necessarily need to go through both of those emails, but that's going to be it for this week's show. How can you get in touch with me at the show? As always, my website, www.instantactionpodcast.com. Send me an email, instantactionshow@gmail.com. Call me, leave me a voicemail, 347-4VM4PS2, or the number's 347-486-4772. Follow me on Twitter, @InstActPodcast is the show's Twitter, and my personal Twitter is @TheDerringer. But as always, in closing, if you've enjoyed the show, please leave me a review on your podcast listening avenue of choice, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or anywhere else. Also, feel free to tell your friends and outfit mates about the show. And finally, thanks for listening, and keep spamming that Join Combat, formerly known as Instant Action button. Y321, this one's for you.
To